Second Nation.
The boldest live morning show is back. Real talk, motivation, and entertainment forged in the underground tunnels. Fair warning, gentlemen, that this is R-rated content. If the kids are nearby, grab those headphones. The underground doesn't hold back.
Hey, you ever wondered if your hidden dark impulses are secretly steering every decision, just like Eddie the White Yeti? Or is that just your daily dose of Viagra talking? Hey, we got her back. We got Lydia Hoey joining us this morning on Mornings in Live with Keith and Friends, getting after it right now. Welcome to Mornings in the Lab, where
when something negative comes up,
building muscle improves blood flow
from squirty to squirrely.
Start small, build up, and expand from there.
Be entertained by fun over here.
How have I slept? Has my sleep been good? That's
regret doesn't come from breaking the rules, you guys. Hey, good morning. We're back at it, you guys. What's going on here? Jimmy, I'm leaving the camera angle this way. Yeah, true story. All right, good morning. Coming up, everybody. Welcome to Mornings in the Lab, the boldest. Yeah, we are the boldest live morning show on the planet. Your daily accountability partner, here to fuel your mindset, your motivation, and your morning routine. What's your routine? Getting up, getting after it right now. True story. Yeah, we got a full loaded show today. We got her back. We got one of the quickest returning guests in the history of the show. Why? Because she was awesome the first time around. Lydia Hoey's joining us, the dating coach, the relationship specialist, the girl that gets guys and girls hooked up. Yeah, or going around or going in, whatever, what kind of terms we ever use these. I don't know. We're going to get after Lydia coming up in the show. We got a fully loaded experience today. Real talk, motivating content, and highly entertaining conversation you will not find anywhere else. Plus, consistent appearances of Eddie the White Yeti. Yes. Eddie the White Yeti, the new mascot for Mornings Live with Keith and Friends, making appearances, storytelling with us today and throughout the entire experience. Good morning, brother. Good morning, B-Drive. What's going on, brother? I see you there today. In hour one, we're diving headfirst into the psychology behind your darkest impulses. Well, listen, science confirms that there's a sinister common thread driving humanity's most unsettling behaviors. Like I said, plus love guru Lydia Hoey is joining us, returning to tackle the toughest relationship questions that we didn't get to last time. Plus, we're going to uncover what happens, guys. What happens if you pop some daily sildenafil, Viagra, Cialis? There's way more going on than just a boost in the bedroom. We're going to talk about that on the show here today. And don't forget, men, smash the like button, subscribe to the show, and drop those comments below. Fair warning, as the White Yeti said, this is an R-rated experience. So those kids are around, the White Yeti might offend them. Yeah, put the headphones on, walk the kids out. Remember, you hit that snooze button, you're 9 minutes behind the guy who doesn't. Jeffrey Clark, what's shaking? Jesus Christ loves you all, and Jesus Christ loves you too, Jeffrey Clark. Thanks for joining the biggest morning show on the planet. Drew motherfuckers. Oh, yeah, drop that F-bomb right off the bat here. Right, Jimmy, during the morning, just during the monologue, man, just dropping them. Just dropping them. Jeffrey, I see you there. Thanks for coming on the show here today. We're here to help you start your day, Jeffrey. Yeah, we're going to start it right with laughter, insights, accountability. Roofie. Speaking of Roofie, he just wrapped up his morning kindness, uncommon kindness, happening here on the Mornings in the Lab channel. I invite you guys to check it out, 7:30 Eastern time, right here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. Before the show starts, Roofie starts it up, and he gets after for all you guys, helping you get out of bed with a nice pace before we up the energy and up the volume during the big morning show, Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. John and Marty are coming. I think they're coming here. I think the and friends part are showing up here today, Jimmy. Those guys have been working through their revised schedules. Jimmy, I saw a comment this morning from Marty on Instagram's big changing rules on the YouTuber relating to AI stuff. Well, I'll tell you, we're going to talk about that when Marty comes in here. Hour two. We're going to jump into Arnold's advice We're going to talk about how to stop muscle loss in its tracks with groundbreaking insights straight from diabetes research. We probably will even dig into some conversations around peptides. I know we'll get into that with Johnny. Speaking of Johnny, John Anderson University, if you guys want to learn more about peptides and the things that are happening with muscle loss as we age, you might want to knock on that guy's door. He might tell you a few things you might want to learn and listen. And for all the creators and entrepreneurs out there, yes, hour 2, we're going to drop 15 powerful steps to become the expert everyone trusts online. You know where it starts? Starts with the morning conversation. Oh yeah. You want to set the conversation for the day? Well, I invite you to start the conversation for the day. And of course, we're going to spotlight some very compelling people in our community corner. So buckle up, guys, because the morning mindset upgrade continues right now on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. Jimmy, let's rock and roll, brother. Let's keep it going.
It's 9 minutes before the morning loop begins.
It only takes 8 minutes.
Your morning mindset upgrade continues right here. Mornings in the Lab isn't just a show, it's forged in the underground.
All right. Good morning, Johnny Anderson. What's shaking, brother? Are you bringing some energy today, pal, like yesterday?
Am I here finally?
You are finally here. How are you, man?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. Had a good day yesterday. Feeling pretty clear today, which is good. That's always a good sign.
Good. Yes, you were so I'm going to call you out, brother. You were dragging your ass yesterday. Yeah, Jimmy and I, after the show was over, Jimmy and I are like reflecting on the experience of the 2 hours. And I'm like, yeah, Anderson was dragging his ass. Marty was dragging his ass. AJ was dragging his ass. Our guest was dragging his ass. The only people that showed up was Keith and Uncle Jimmy. Oh, wait a minute, Uncle Keith and Jimmy. And I was like, that's okay. Johnny, sometimes I got to hold the boat for you, man. Sometimes your assistant, that's me, guys. That's me. I'm Johnny's assistant. Sometimes the assistant needs to hold your bag or your purse, in your case, maybe.
In a situation like this, I don't even acknowledge the stuff that's coming out of your mouth. I mean, where am I going to go with that? You know,
I know where you're going to go with it because I made a clip last night. It might have something to do with Johnny. Will you play with me? Well, AI Johnny responded, and I'll drop that later today in your messages because I was having AI Keith and AI Johnny were having a nice conversation, and AI Keith was asking AI Johnny if he would play with him. Well, AI Johnny was calling me a dumb little son of a bitch. So I will share that with you later today and have some fun with you on that one as well. Johnny, we got Lydia Hoey joining. Lydia was here 2 weeks ago, remember? And we ran out of time with her from the UK, relationship coach, dating coach.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So we were doing a call with her after. I was like, you got to come back on the show. So next thing you know, she was like here the next day. So I'm excited to have her in the show here today because we did not get a chance to ask her a ton of stuff from last time. So I'm excited to have her back. She was kind enough to come join us again here today on the show. Hey, Self the Science, I see you there. Those glasses are dope, brother. Thanks, man. I appreciate them. I'm a big fan of my glasses as well. And B Drive was not dragging your ass, but you feel like it could happen today. Yes. So Johnny, you're 3 days removed from having some beers. Are you feeling clear and better, man?
Well, funny enough, I'm actually doing an experiment on myself.
Oh, Jesus, right? Murphy. Don't tell me you're shooting load in yourself to see if it works. For anybody who
No, these are the kind of fucking experiments you look into, not me.
Yesterday's show, some dude we found decided to...
You fucking weirdo. Jesus Christ. Why even bring that to the fucking table as a topic? What? Jesus Christ.
Shoots his load in a cup and tried to fix his back. Yes. I want to inject.
Well, the funny part was when you originally said that, I didn't actually think that he was injecting it like into his muscle. I thought he was putting it up his ass.
Oh my goodness!
And then when you explained it, I'm like, this is even worse. Putting it up your ass. I mean, I could possibly comprehend how sperm suppository may have some benefit, but injecting it under the skin into the muscle, it's a guaranteed infection, which is exactly what happened.
Well, Lady Drew comes in. What's going on, Lady Drew? Good morning. I was enjoying our conversation in the comments yesterday and offline. And Lady Drew's like, she's like, there's better ways to get sperm into your body than with a syringe. No shit, Sherlock.
Jesus Christ. Because they do stuff like, God, I'm trying to think of like, I I can't remember the exact name of it, but like people that have messed up like bad bacteria in their guts, they'll take shit of like a baby who's got really good bacteria, and they'll put that up their ass, and it will actually help. There's actually there's a medical practice to this.
If you're just getting out of bed, you're enjoying a really great conversation with Keith and Johnny right now. Johnny, what's your experiment on yourself, brother? What are you doing? What are you doing now, Anderson?
I'm fucking coming. So, my whole new business and really diving into the peptide world. Now that for years I kept quiet on it because there was so many. There was really I didn't have a place for someone to say, hey, if you want to try this, go get it here.
Oh yeah.
Because there's so much junk out there. People were getting it. Anyway. I don't need to go into that. So
yeah.
Anyway. As you know, I've started a business and I've actually started a university to kind of help people. But what I'm doing is there's so many different ways that this stuff is used to help people. But one of the things that I'm really focused on is the mind.
Yes.
And so there's all sorts of different peptides that are like, I guess you could call like the one that I'm actually putting together this protocol. It's going to be called the Brain Builder. Okay. And basically what I'm doing is I'm testing a 30-day. I just started today. Actually last night is when I started. I started the PM of this AM PM. Did the AM today, and I think that has something to do with some of my clarity. But the how I'm going to test it is my reading. Oh, because reading is a challenge for me, and every day I fucking force myself in there, and I have a pretty good idea of my retention level, my comprehension level, because I've been doing this so long, and the gains are just. I mean, keep in mind, I commit to it every day, but it's not like I commit an hour or 2 hours.
Yeah.
That's the one page non-negotiable. So in 30 days, if this actually helps the brain build, so to speak, then it'll be very clear that I should be very, very, the feedback should be pretty simple for me to recognize that it's working.
Keith and John, Mornings and Live with Keith, John, and friends here. Every single day, 8 o'clock Eastern time, YouTube, LinkedIn, and X. We got Lydia Hope hanging out patiently for us in the green room. We'll bring it up in a few minutes. Yes, Maddie Roof, this show is a little different than Kindness Rising. Speaking of Kindness Rising, 7:30 Eastern time, Maddie gets after right here on the channel every single day, offering you guys a different dose of what Keith, John, and Marty are serving up here in the lab every single day. We got a few topics to get into today. I'm going to tease some of them right now here, Johnny. We got coming up later on the show, what happens if you take Viagra all the time, or sildenafil, Cialis? Like, what happens? Like, as we were joking about it a few days ago, that was discovered through, I think it was was it heart medicine or something they were looking to create?
Something like that.
Yeah, and they discovered that there was some other benefits. So we're gonna have that conversation. I found a little bit of science just to give you guys some information.
Well, I got some personal experience to put into that conversation.
Perfect. We're gonna get into that as well. And hey, are you secretly driven by darkness? Science says yes. There's a dark personality trait many of us potentially carry. And I found something quite intriguing, Johnny, that I think we want to lean into. And what makes me curious about that too, and what makes me curious about your experience back to reading is humans are so natural to judge by what we see. So for example, I'm gonna use you as an example. So I look at you, you're 6 foot, you're muscular, you're strong, you're confident. You see that person in the real world, you think they have it all figured out. I love how vulnerable you are when you share that you struggle with something that is so taken for granted by every human on the planet, reading.
Well, bro, let me just step in what you said. You said you appear or you feel whatever, you have it all figured out. Yeah. Here's the deal. Nobody ever has it all figured out, but the closest you ever get is when you don't have it figured out. And that's the fucking difference. So many people, they're doing well and they just, well, fuck, I got it nailed. You got it nailed for maybe today, maybe a few hours.
Yes.
Yes. These windows of feeling like you got it are fucking small. And if you're dumb enough to believe you got it, you don't have it, and you probably never will.
Well, but you know what, pal? But I want to call you out because I was having a chat with Matty Roof yesterday as Matt's been building his show and frankly building his confidence. And dude, there's just a lot of guys out there that still in their late 40s, 50s, and early 60s that don't have the courage to admit some of the things you're admitting, or some of the things I talk about or Matt talks about. So again, we're creating a platform to help men invite themselves to step up and say, yeah, you know what, I struggle with reading. Okay. Well, let's talk about it. Or I struggle with losing weight. Okay, let's talk about it. Or I struggle with this or that. Let's talk about it. Right. So I just want to say from me to you, I appreciate your continued vulnerability because again, we as humans judge, man. We judge. Oh, like guys, that guy must be the smartest fucker out there. He's big, he's muscular, and all that. Yeah, but I can't read. Oh, and that to tell you.
Hold on, you're not going to get me saying I can't. Let's straighten that out.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
I know, but you know what I mean, though. I just find it so. I find it really a very attractive, vulnerable trait that you're not shy to share. Because
one of the reasons how sharing, I think why it got easier for me, was because when I started to really realize that helping people, reach their potential was really kind of what I'm here for. Then I realized that, the more parts of me that I can show that don't match up with what you can see right now, the more real it was going to feel to people to maximize their potential, because it's like, and so I don't know. It wasn't always easy for me to pull my pants down, so to speak, but now it's part of my duty.
Pulling our pants down every single day, 8 o'clock Eastern time, right here on Mornings in the Lab. I see your comments there. OF Glory, Old Glory, the man at the bottom of the screen. Wow, maybe when you saw it, did you meet him at the detail shop? You might have met Johnny in Humboldt. I don't think Keith and Johnny have been to Humboldt anytime soon. Jimmy, let's drop the accountability check-in. After that, we're going to bring Marty in, bring Lydia in, and let's have a wonderful conversation with Lydia Hoey around dating 2025. Jimmy, let's get after it, pal.
Hey, Keith, I see that picture of your shoulder climbing the ink trail. So what? I can climb the stepper nonstop.
All right, there we go. Hey, why I focus more on my not to-do list than my to-do list. Too many of us focus on the to-do list. It's like a scorecard telling you that you're always behind no matter what, because guys, the list never ends. Doesn't matter how many tech boxes you tick, it just never gets any shorter. Because for every task you tack off, there's another one that gets added. Not to mention the ones you actually never get to. Look at your list. I'm telling you, I spent years thinking I could outwork the chaos with my to-do list. Just keep building it. But you know how it goes. I was always busy and never, ever made sustainable progress to get anything accomplished. So here's what I changed. I started protecting my time ruthlessly, stopped saying yes to every request, every quick call, every opportunity. Now I ask questions before I commit. Does this make my life a little better? Will this help me build my business? Will it make me a better partner or a dad? And does it contribute to my wellness goals? If it doesn't align with any of it, I say no. What's the key? The key is productivity. It's cutting what doesn't serve you. Yes, that's what the true story is. So I invite you guys today, as you're getting through your list, take everything off it that's just not going to happen. Say no. Say yes to one thing and get it done. There's your accountability check-in this morning on Mornings in the Lab. Jimmy with Keith and Friends. Let's get over into the transition of the center stage.
Relationship problems in 2025? Lydia Hoey's back to fix your love life, boys. Even down here in the underground, love finds a way.
What if the reason you're still single isn't your dating profile, your approach, or even your luck, but the fact that you're solving the wrong problem entirely? Most men are stuck in an endless cycle of chasing dates, perfecting their game, and wondering why nothing sticks. They're focused on getting the girl instead of becoming the man worth keeping. Lydia Hoey, matchmaking director at McLean International, has analyzed thousands of relationships and discovered that lasting connections aren't built on attraction or chemistry. They're built on psychological compatibility and emotional accountability. The breakthrough happens when you shift from performing to growing, from chasing to building, from impressing to connecting authentically. Stop playing the dating game. Start building the relationship skills that actually matter.
Lydia Hoey is back. She's back in the lab with Marty, myself, and Johnny. Jimmy, let's bring her up. What's going on, Lydia? Welcome back to the lab. I got you muted on the horizontal there. If we can get you unmuted on the horizontal, that would be great too.
I have tech issues.
There you go. No, you got you there. We got you there. How are you today?
Very well, thank you. It's really hot in the UK, so lots of sunshine.
It is really hot in the UK. Yes. Yeah. As you notice, we've upped the production value. We invited the White Yeti to the show here now to do some intros with us. So as you saw, we increased the production for you as well here on the show. So listen, you were on the show this a couple weeks back. Had so much fun. Lydia is the matchmaking director at McLean International. She's the founder of Matchmaker School. I had a conversation with her post-show. I'm like, Lydia, you got to come back, man. I had so much fun with it. I just didn't feel like we had enough to ask you. And then, Lydia, we learned yesterday, Keith and Johnny learned yesterday, our brother from another mother, Marty, was off on a wonderful weekend with his lovely lady friend to the Bahamas. So I think when we talked last, I don't know if we were having that conversation with Marty about dating and stuff, but yeah, exactly. You're shaking your head. So we're going to have to get into that as well. But Lydia, where do we want to start our conversation? I got so much to get into, but I'm going to invite you to start it today. Where do you want to start our conversation today about the world of relationships in 2025, especially as we're going into the hot summer season, Lydia Hoey?
I think one point to make sort of really clear to single people is there are different ways to date, not just from an app. So you've got to get creative. You've got to put your phone away when you're in social situations and invite connections. I think it's really nice to gauge some chemistry in person in lots of different opportunities where you can, which people used to do all the time. So I think people are out and about, the summer's here, it's a flirty, fun time. Yeah. Maximize it.
Yes. You said something, we said something a couple weeks ago when we were talking, Lydia, and it's stuck with me since then, that apps, and I think Marty even talked about it too, was that the app world has commodified the human. Because it's just a swipe. It's just a swipe. And there's another human on the other side of the swipe. And when all you're doing is swiping based on a visual experience, if I'm just looking at Lydia and I swipe to the next Lydia, the next Lydia, the next Lydia, I've just commodified you. And that really stuck with me because that's what the applicational dating experience has happened, hasn't it, Lydia?
Yeah, and you're potentially missing really great matches, essentially, because you're judging on in seconds generally, or some little bits of information. And I think if dating apps are your thing, if that's the only way you feel you want to date, you really need to understand how you're going to make good choices on dating apps. Because people do meet. My sister met her husband on a dating app, but you've got to make sure you're actually looking for the right things on profiles. You're putting the right things down, and you're not getting fatigued by saying yes to everyone, because that's gonna. And that a lot of men are quite open. They're gonna see who's connecting, swiping for them. So they're going to maximize their swipes. And then that might lead to not getting very many dates because they might not be appropriate, a fatigue, a little bit down about it. So you've got to put a strategy in place. A lot of people do not put a strategy in place, and then it's like a second time job. They're putting in a lot of time for not great gains. But if you put in some strategies, then you're going to have a better dating experience. You're going to hopefully make better connections. But then again, saying that, don't just rely on dating apps.
I was just going to say, I want to jump. I so agree with everything you're saying. And I always like to make weird comparisons, So when I was a boy, I used to love to fish, right? And I remember we would hike to these different lakes and fish, and I lived on a river, so we would fish. And then one day we went to this place, and it was it was more of a pond. And I couldn't believe how quickly I had a fish out on the shore. I was like less than a minute. I was like, whoa. And I did it again. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. And then I realized this was a fucking stocked fish pond.
Oh, yeah.
Like heavily stocked. You actually had to pay for the fucking, paid by how much weight of fish you pulled out of there. And just the psychology of going out and catching a fish in some nature's lake was so different than catching a fish where it was fucking stocked. And you had to, so I think deep down, there's a psychological element that is being robbed from both sides of the fence.
That's interesting. Marty, how did you meet your friend, your girl?
Actually online, ironically, but yeah, it's not.
No, I'm
It wasn't.
teasing you, brother. I'm totally teasing you.
Yeah, no, you good, you good. Like I said, that's not typically my way.
I
That's
know,
not
yeah,
what I do,
yeah.
but you
But
know.
so was it through Instagram or something? Without, be cryptic if you
Yeah,
want.
Instagram. It wasn't like Bumble or Tinder.
Yeah. Okay. But that's a good segue.
Instagram is a dating app. You know.
I was just gonna say, Lydia is
Just like Strava.
What was that? What'd you say?
Just like Strava.
Oh, just like Strava. Yeah.
I've never
Well,
even
you know,
heard a lot of
you're,
these
you know,
fucking
you can
things.
see different things. You've got different lifestyle choices. You're seeing connections, and okay, you're seeing Instagram shows a slightly curated version of, but it's a good way to reach out to people.
Yeah.
If you said what is Strava, I would have thought it was a fucking drink.
Strava's a fitness app, Johnny, for cyclists and runners, and it's basically another fitness application. But
yeah,
I never thought about that idea. You're right, actually, right? Because if you're in that, it's a community thing. I never thought about that. It's like being in a physical gym.
Yeah, and you can message anyone that you follow, and you can ask to follow anyone. So.
Well, Peloton has recently opened up their community to the public as well, and I just had a dull moment. Of course, that's where those platforms go to. Again,
but like also Instagram, like a lot of people don't think you can date through Instagram, and surely you can, Marty. So how did it? Did you meet for a drink quickly, or a coffee, or?
So this is crazy. You guys are asking, getting all in my business. No, it was. She doesn't live locally.
Okay.
So we kind of met up out of town.
Oh, nice.
I love that.
That's kind of how that worked.
Me too.
Well, dude, I gotta say, if I was gonna partake in this activity, that would be a requirement. I'm not meeting some chick I don't know in my own backyard. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that's how that happened.
And I don't mean when I say chick, I'm not demeaning women by any means. I'm just saying when you don't fucking know someone to bring them inside your circle, that's like I work hard to build the universe that I live in. I don't want to let some weirdo inside unless I truly understand the character of that person.
Yeah, and it's the same way, the other way around for women. You wouldn't let a guy in, just all willy-nilly. You don't know him, so it only makes sense, Yeah.
Hey, Lydia, I got to imagine here, and this is great, Lydia, I got to imagine the world's only getting worse with the commodification of humans as we start overlaying the world in our glasses. There's no question that the future of technology is moving to eyewear and overlaying images. So me seeing Lydia in public and having information in my glasses, so imagine Instagram, Marty, but in my glasses, right? So I get to know how old Lydia is, where she lives. Like Lydia, as a relationship coach, that's got to make it kind of, I'll use the word creepy or freaky, but that's going to add a whole new level of social etiquette, isn't it, Lydia?
Yeah, but I hate that. So we had some singles drinks night on Monday.
Okay.
And the fun thing was you were just chatting to anyone you wanted to speak to. You weren't ruling anyone out straight away by age. You weren't looking at what they do for a job or a sentence that they say or their pictures. It was great to not have too much information to begin with when you're in a social setting organically.
Interesting.
And then you're gauging that chemistry. I did realize though that my age radar is very off. I do not know how old a lot of people are on.
Really?
I was trying to match a couple of people, and then I realized there was like a big 10-year gap. Not that matters, but I was like, oh, I had you down as the same age.
Talk about age gaps. How does age gap play itself out? Johnny, if I can ask, Joe, are you and Terry? Where are you and Terry at, Johnny, age-wise?
She's actually just slightly older, not quite a year.
Okay. And then Marty, you and the girl you're dating, are you guys similar? Or
6.5 years.
You're older or she's older?
I'm older.
Okay. And then Lydia, I'm 13 over my partner, my second partner. So talk about age gap and how that plays in the relationship.
I'm a couple of years, 2 or 3 years older than my husband. Okay. I think very much now, I'm seeing a lot more women date younger men, like much younger men as well.
Interesting. Yeah.
But I think I have no problem with age differences, age gaps, because it's all about who you are, how young you feel, how old you feel, what interests you have, where you are in life, and you find two people that don't mind age. It's fine. Generally, we'd say 10 years older, 15 5 years younger if you're female. If you're male, we'd say do look older, depending on how they feel about that. 5 years, 10 years
I
down.
got a question for you, Lydia.
Yeah.
So why is it that, like, so if I tell someone, I guess this might be my generation thing. Like if I tell someone, oh yeah, I'm 6.5 years older, or if I was Keith, like I'm 13 years older, they would look at me like I'm crazy. But when it's the other way around, when it's the woman dating the younger man, it's like not looked down upon. So why is it that it's looked down upon with the guys?
I think it's the other way around. I think.
Yeah, I was gonna agree with that.
I understand. Like, I think a lot of people are used to women dating older men, and like sort of 7 years on average older. And now I think people are more socially accepting of women dating younger. So that's
I was just saying it's looked down upon in my generation.
Really?
I have no idea why. Yeah.
Well, brother, but hold on. I think you're listening to the wrong people. Those people that are talking, you need to not be listening to. That's the problem.
Most people are the wrong people. You know.
Yeah. So but I mean, if just to try to avoid that influence, if you don't hear them talk, you don't even hear this shit.
But also,
go ahead, Lydia.
There are different ages where gaps seem much bigger, right?
Yes.
In your late 30s, 40s, gaps just sort of, but when you're 20, I don't know how old you are because I said 32. My gay radar.
I'm 32.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes people do see that in a strange way, just because there can be so many pivotal changes around certain ages. And then it's like, are your friends going to get on with that person? Are you going to be at the same stage in life? And I think it's those kind of questions.
It's interesting. We're going to head to the fit tip here in a quick second and reset and come back with Lydia here in a minute. But it's interesting to say it, Lydia, because Marty's 31, and if 6 years, so his girlfriend, his partner, his friend is 25.
I think that's perfect, brother. If I had to pick it, that would be it. I would if I had to pick an age for you, Mark, that would be it.
I'm going to listen to Johnny before I listen to them.
I'm with Johnny. But what's interesting, Marty and Lydia, I think you'd agree with this. You add 10 years to this discussion, and all of a sudden Marty's now 41, and the young lady's 36. Nobody's Marty grief.
It's perfect.
It's incredible it's the difference. I think it's the 20s.
It is.
Well, what I noticed myself was when I was the element that was missing for me when I was dating younger was I guess to put bluntly, companionship. The companionship in terms of just being with that person, and it's just that thing. When they were younger, I didn't have that. So that's kind of where I kind of found myself drifting into.
Not them.
100%. Could have been me, could have been her, could have been a lot of things. I was just recognizing that it kept happening.
Yeah.
Right. And then once I found one that was older, or I shouldn't say older, more my age. Actually, I did date a girl briefly before Terry that was actually a little bit older than me. I noticed a big difference going back the other way. And then when Terry came along, it just kind of settled in. But there's a lot of variables for sure, Lydia.
Keith, John, Marty, and our guest Lydia Hoey here on Mornings Live with Keith, John, Marty, and friends. Adam Holroyd coming in. My girlfriend is 7 years older than me, but my ex was 7 years younger. So Adam is working himself through life, finding himself right in the middle of the median. So I find that kind of interesting. And B Drive coming in, I find I can work fine. Either way, being older, it really is the personalities that have to click. And Lydia, when we come back from the Marty Fit Tip, I want to talk about attraction and physical attraction, because we had you on last time, this time, and then we had another lady on a few weeks ago. And I want to talk about the value of what that means today, because we talk about commodification, but yet if you're not physically attracted to somebody, I just don't think it's going to work. So let's get into that conversation. Jimmy, let's get to the Fit Tip. We'll come back with Lydia Hoey. We'll take a quick little minute break here.
Maybe C. Marty can help me with his C. Marty Fit Tip of the day.
I like that, Keith. All right, we got the fitness tip for today. Stop putting your fitness journey on hold, right? Not everybody, but a lot of people say, oh, well, when my schedule clears up more, when things slow down. Listen, it's not happening. You always going to have shit in the way. You're always going to have something that can keep you so busy that you got to skip out on your fitness. You got to figure it out. This is not a temporary fix. This is a long-term investment. The best time to start was yesterday. Second best time is right now. So the more you put it off, the more you fall off. So you got to start investing in your health ASAP. Because next thing you know, it's like compound interest. So you can get fitter or you can get fatter, right? You're just going to accumulate more fat over time. Your VO2 max is going to go down over time. You're just going to lose muscle over time, and it's going to increase rapidly as you age. So stop putting it on hold. Start now. Get your butt up. Get in the gym. Get the trainer. Get the meal prep service. Start cooking. Do what you got to do. That's the fitness tip for today.
How do you always skate circles around me? Skip snooze, tune in to Keith every morning, 8 a.m.
We're back with Lydia Hoa here on Mornings Live with Keith, John, Marty, and friends every single day, 8 o'clock Eastern time. We're having a great conversation about relationships and dating with Lydia, who's the director of is it McLaren? Lydia, I have my notes here.
Macklin, but some people say McLin. So either.
Macklin. Lydia, I got a question from the community here. Matt Roof, our host of Kindness Rising, you're dropping every single day, 7:30 Eastern time here. Matt comes back with says, can your guests explain, I think it's pronounced hypergamy or hypergamy, and its impact on dating and relationships? Lydia.
The atrophy?
Yeah, hypergamy. Yeah, maybe.
I think I'll sum it up if you don't know what it is. Lydia.
Yeah, no, I'm dyslexic as well. So.
Okay, this isn't the exact definition. This is just an idea. Basically, it's women, I guess men too, basically dating for the next best partner, right? So so as a woman, you're dating a guy, and there's
always on the lookout.
Money. Yeah, there's someone with more money.
Yeah,
there's someone fitter. Yeah, someone with a better career, better car. Yeah.
Well, then I think you've got to speak to someone about that. I think. What is it? Do you have an avoidant attachment? Sorry. Are you avoidant? Like, I think you need to. Some people should just think about their background, how they grew up, the relationship that their parents had. Because this will all play into how they see relationships and how they attach themselves. And I think if you're constantly thinking the grass is greener, what is it? There's something that might need to be resolved or spoken about to get you to a secure, happy place where you're content with someone. I think,
but Lydia, that adds to something Marty said a number of months ago, which I just can't get out of my brain. And we laughed about it with Johnny, myself, Marty, is that, your next partner is a swipe away in the DMs on Instagram. Like, there's some dude out there waiting for you and your husband to have a fight. And Lydia, all being in a vulnerable state, some dude get in your DMs. Next thing you know, that hypergamy slides in, right? And it just,
you know what, Keith? Yeah. What's crazy is and this is for guys and girls. Yeah. Let's say a girl leaves me.
Yes.
Like 3 months later, she comes right back because that situation didn't work. But she had the googly eyes for whatever. It could have been someone's muscles, car, money. Yeah. It could have been whatever. But so that's what I was saying. The apps are just terrible.
Yeah. I think, and we're all guilty of it, I think, at different times, but then we might not be ready for a relationship. But I think when you find that right person at the right time in your life, that looking stops. And then I think the different feelings come in where you're like, I really hate, well, there's a really good book, State of Affairs by Esther Perel on affairs and how they happen. And when I was much younger, I was being very judgy about people that have affairs. Like, how could people do it? It's ridiculous, like so morally unwrong. And actually, they come up for a lot of different reasons. And I think just if you're not with the right person or something is wrong in the relationship, I think it's people ending it before it gets to looking elsewhere and actively acting on it. But also, I guess we're in a world where we're seeing far more people than we ever would. Like before smartphones, certainly. Well, even when I was like a teen, early 20s ish, we had the internet, but it wasn't that great. You were looking in your social circle, you were looking around the town that you lived in.
Yes.
You weren't able to connect with someone in Hong Kong or in LA. You couldn't just reset your and then dream and like think that would be an amazing connection, because
Illusion
of
options.
some like rubbish that you're seeing about their life that might not be true. So I think it really plays into this paradox of choice and us trying to realize that's something to forget. The grass is not always greener.
Well, I think a kind of a foundational piece in this whole thing too is, I think so many of these problems, relationships lead back to the individual. Because if you're not happy with yourself, if you haven't accepted yourself, you're never going to accept someone else. And you see it all the time. These people expect this level, the standard from their partner, and they're not even fucking close themselves. Are you out of your fucking mind? You expect her to be in great shape. Look at your fat ass laying on the couch eating Cheetos.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That is so true. I hate.
Oh, Lydia. Sorry to change the subject, but it's right along with what Johnny said. Why is it okay? Why do men think that it's okay to date whatever woman they want if their money is at a certain level, but they're not in shape physically? Why do you know anything about that? Do you have an opinion on that?
I think there's lots of, I think it's a complex subject, but I think there are some different relationships that are more transactional. Right? This person but also some people might be attractive, look after themselves, and they don't need that reflection. That is this person, this rich person, are they a good person? Do they have good values? Or is it more transactional? Is it like, this person's going to give me a lifestyle I want, I'm going to be the trophy on the arm that person might want, and actually we're good with that? And I don't think there's anything wrong with that if that's what people want.
Let me boil this down, Mark. This is my position. There's obviously we're talking about a man with a lot of money. Why is it how he attracts or how he thinks he attracts females? And I suppose it could go either direction, because there's always that fleet of people who are looking for a fucking free lunch. And that group of people will never go away. And as long as you got free lunch, you're going to have a line of people waiting to fucking come eat at your place.
I will say that share a little personal experience as I was going through my journey in life, and was exiting one relationship and moving through life and had achieved some financial security.
He made $50 million. Come on, dude.
It became a concern, an awareness of mine, that were people liking me, or were people wanting to be around me because of the car you drove, because something you wore, because of your bank account. Like, I'm telling you, man, that feeling is real. Like, I was like, oh, like, is there, and you don't know it until you go through it. True story. Because I wasn't born with that. I was born with coal and a copper spoon.
Dude,
right?
I didn't take Terry to where I lived.
Yes.
For fucking 7 fucking weeks.
Yes.
She was like, God, I wonder if this fucking guy's apartment just must be a wreck. And then I finally take her to my house, and it's this beautiful fucking house on the San Francisco Bay. She was like, whoa, this is not what I was expecting. Because you basically, they see this shit, and all of a sudden now, what do they see? Do they really see you?
Generally, I think you would probably know if you've got someone after
100%. But it was just me. I wasn't trying to suck my own cock. I wasn't trying to peacock. I was just trying to know this chick. So let's just keep that element out of the equation, because it makes it for a much easier platform for me to understand.
Lydia, talk to me a little bit about Lydia. I'm going to be frank, man. I love having you on the show. You're awesome.
I really like being here as
awesome
well. Thanks for having me.
I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, fuck, we got to say goodbye to her again really soon. I'm like, dude, you just got here.
I know. I'm sorry.
I must have missed Lydia last time. Sorry.
Does the time go somewhere fast?
Yeah, Marty.
Wonder something when it happens, because this is awesome. Lydia, I want to talk physical attraction. Here's what I want to talk about. So it seems like we're taught to, but you got to look at everything about them, all the different values. No. If I don't think you're fucking hot and I don't think I want to have sex with you, I have no interest in you. Point blank, period. Please tell the truth about that whole idea of physical attraction.
Yeah, I think, well, you need it.
Yes.
It comes and it goes. It can stay. But I think some people, it can grow. So I was saying, like, if you're on a date and it's not a hard no, it's like, there's a level of interest, but I'm not sure. I think attraction can grow. And for some people it does. For some people, more men, but for some, and women sometimes, it will not change, and you need that attraction. So yeah, we can't, no one, you want to be attracted to the person you're going to be sleeping with.
Johnny, were you initially, so I'm going to go around the table here. Johnny, were you initially physically attracted to Terry? Yes or no answer?
Yes. However, I'm just saying, however, at that time,
yes,
when she met,
yes,
I was actually more interested. My focus was companionship. That makes sense.
Yeah, 100%.
When in the past I had been fucking purely focused on, is this chick giving me a tickle in my pants?
Yes.
You know, and that led to great fucking bedroom action, but it didn't lead to just, companionship, which is what I was really after. Because all those other relationships that didn't have good companionship, they were rocky, and it wasn't providing what I was looking for other than great sex. And if I would just wanted great sex, I'd just go have great sex.
Yes. And then Marty, I assume with you, I'm making an assumption here, but you met the young lady on Instagram, so it was a physical appearance first of all. That's what
Look at that face.
It was. And I got no judgment. I love it.
Hey, Keith, I only do baddies, man.
Yeah. but let's go here, pal. So you saw it.
What's a baddie?
8 out of 10 and up, man.
So you saw her picture. Did you DM her? Did you how did you guys meet? Did you message her, or was it like a stranger out of the blue? Because I'll tell you how before you answer that, so Lydia, as I was going through my journey, I knew my partner because I was working with her sister, and I was like, I'd like to know that young lady. So what I do, I went to Instagram and I liked her kid's picture, so I could show up on her feed. I just tap, and like, Keith's paying attention. So Marty, you saw this young lady, and then what happened?
You want me to be honest, man?
I do. Yes. Yeah, we do. 100% we do.
I did a reaction video.
No, after saying that, no, please don't be honest.
Yes.
Please. Nobody wants to hear much.
Get out of here, Johnny. Get out of here, Johnny. No, I did a reaction video to her. It was about fitness. And she commented on the video, and then her mom commented on the video. And that's kind of how we started talking.
Oh, you're bringing your mom into it right off the bat?
Yeah, that's what happened. It's funny.
Oh, man. Lydia Hoey joining us all the way from London, from McLean International. We're talking relationship, dating. We're having a fun conversation with Lydia. Lydia, as we wrap it up, is there anything that we want to make sure we haven't talked about today that you wanted to talk about today as we continue our chat here with you, Lydia?
Oh, there's so much. I could chat to you guys actually for hours. And I definitely want to come back again if you'll have me. So,
absolutely. Yeah.
But do you know, there is one thing. When I was doing a lot of dating and I talked to a lot of people, I think that piece about attraction can worry some people. Like, how will I find someone attractive for years? And I think when you find that right person, it's there. And you might not meet that person until you're in your 30s, your 40s, but it does and greatly lasts, which I think.
And when you find the right person, they become more and more attractive. Like I'm more physically attracted to Terry now than the day I fucking met her, hands down.
So Johnny, here's something here to say, because me too. I look at Lauren. So Lauren just turned 40 here in May, and I look at her now. And I met her 7 years ago. I still think she looks the exact same way, maybe even better. And it's incredible because I look at her, I look at the pictures, and she looks better to me today than she ever has. And I'm talking purely physical. And it's incredible.
Totally. Well, and like with Terry, I mean, we're talking 20 years ago.
Yes.
You know, mid-30s, what you could argue would be the, you know, right at the top of the peak of whatever, of the physical portion of it, right?
Yeah.
As to where, you know, now we're talking 20 some years later. But to me, it's there's just attractiveness. Of course, there's a skin. I was very attracted to her in the beginning anyway.
Yes.
But once the attraction goes beyond the skin, then the skin is not quite so important anymore. That was one of the things I actually learned from my blood dad, is that he kept the physical on the outside attraction so high on his totem pole. I watched it really put a lot of strain on his relationships, to the point where I had to like have a couple talks with him. I say, look, dude, you got to fucking chill out on this shit. You think you're some fucking spring chicken? Get out of, Jesus Christ. Let's look in the mirror. You're expecting her to do something you're not doing.
Yes. Well, you know what? We'll close up with this from our brother AJ here, who offered some really wonderful words here a couple weeks back, and they've really stuck with me. Lydia, I think you might enjoy what AJ said. AJ's one of the guys here on the show here who weaves in. He's a mindfield guy, mental performance expert, relationship guy. He said, what I have really enjoyed about the journey of love is, and I'm paraphrasing, but is exactly that journey of love. All those moments that are struggles along the way. That's how you highlight the joy in your journey of love. I'm butchering it, but just the work that's involved in a relationship. And he was really succinct that you put the physical away, you put everything else away. And when you fall in love with somebody, it's truly enjoying everything, the valleys, the peaks, the moments in between. And I know it maybe sounds so obvious to you, but it really stuck with me because I think we lose sight of that often, don't we, Lydia?
Yeah, I think so.
That's what love is. That's what love is. It's everything in between the moment when it's not fun.
And every little bump in the road,
yes,
fight, call it what you will, is just an opportunity to get better.
Yes.
And when you're truly in that relationship that has the companionship and the trust and the loyalty, you don't look at it any other way.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think it's really great when you find it. And I think I know some people, and actually a friend who was in really bad relationships, but she loved the excitement of it. There was way too much probably attraction there and lacked a lot of other things that were put up with. And she's met someone great now, and she's like, now I know what it is to be in a truly great relationship. She's probably now 40. And it's just so nice to hear that now she knows that's the level it should be at.
That's interesting. Keith, John, Marty, Lydia Hoey, all the way from London, England, here today on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. We're going to walk Lydia out. I think producer Jimmy has fallen through the cracks because I have lost touch with him, so we're having some fun with that. But Lydia, we're going to walk you out of here. What do you got going on the agenda today in your busy world? And I know it's actually the end of your world today. You going to pick up your kids now or what?
Well, actually, I kind of forgot that. That's why I'm a little bit shorter today. My daughter broke up for the holidays yesterday. There's a lot of kids somewhere down that way. I'm at someone else's house and thought, I've got to take the call. I'll do it here. So I'm just, enjoying the summer holes and then back to work tomorrow and organizing a bit more cover for childcare. So
Awesome.
Thanks, guys. But thank you for having me. I really enjoy it. Really enjoyed it.
Marty, Johnny, closing words for Lydia?
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, always
all I could say.
Yeah,
always.
Thanks, Lydia. Nice to meet you. Hope to see you soon.
Yeah, you too. Nice to meet you. I want to hear more about the Bahamas, to be honest.
Well, hey,
did you say you went to the Bahamas?
Yeah, tell us, Marty, right now. So she can stick around for 2 more minutes. Let's do it. Let's do it right now.
Most exciting thing was swimming with the dolphins.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Really nice.
You're going to put that as the most excited thing? I think she's going to be a little bummed out.
Even Lydia's like, really?
What am I supposed to say, man?
You didn't.
Hold on.
You
guys don't
like
animals? You guys don't like
no,
animals?
I'm just saying for me, if I was on an expedition like that, the most exciting part would have been fucking, getting to know this lady in whatever physical sense, emotional sense there was. I would take that over swim with fucking dolphins. I'm assuming it wasn't a platonic trip, correct?
I get Marty is holding his cards to his chest.
Yeah,
I get
that's
it.
the
Usually
come
I
on,
get feedback in
lay it.
private, but I can see you're like, I am not giving you guys anything right now.
Super respectful.
Well, you can do it with class.
He's like, I'm on this ridiculous morning show. It's my white brothers from a different mother, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck, man. So I'm just
this poor lady is listening to this, going, Jesus Christ, he likes swimming with dolphins better than getting to know me on an intimate level.
What I said it all, man. That's not what I said.
The most exciting part of the trip was swimming with the dolphins.
You like fucking with me, Johnny. You like messing with
Well,
me.
brother, listen, it's like a big brother to a little brother.
I love it. And then, hey, Johnny, Marty, you'll like this because B Drive's got your back. Johnny has never been taken advantage of by a dolphin. By Bernard B Drive.
No, nor do I ever plan to be. Marty, you weren't taken advantage by a dolphin, were you?
You say all that. If I was taking advantage, it wasn't by the dolphin. See, there you go. See, that's what you want to hear.
Now we're getting into the excitement.
That's what you hear.
I can see that look on your face. You clearly dig this chick, right? So I just want to make sure that if she's listening, that she understands that the most exciting part was her, not the dolphins.
That's awesome, man. I'm
I
happy for you, Marty. Marty, I'm happy for you, brother. I really am.
Thank you, man.
So
Appreciate
good.
y'all.
So
Yeah, I
good.
am too. Sorry for asking questions.
But realistically,
Oh my God.
brother, realistically, if an excursion like that with a chick you just met with the smile on your face when you mentioned her, it's very clear you're smitten with her. If swimming with the dolphins was the most exciting part, that almost tells me it didn't go the way it could have. But I don't think that's the case.
That's not what I meant, man. And she was with me with the dolphins too. So we had, when I say it was exciting, we had fun together. It wasn't just
How
the
long were you
dolphin
there
itself. 3 days.
Hey, Lydia, next time Marty's like, Keith, is Lydia on the show? Yeah. Okay, I'm fucking busy, man. I'm out. I'm not coming to the show.
No, my man face, he comes running towards the fuck. He doesn't run from this shit.
I ain't running from shit, exactly.
You know what, guys? I think this may have happened though. We may, Lydia, we've always been looking for like a female doppelganger to hang out with us and kind of have him play and just be goofy. We may have just kind of around a matter of fact way we may have found our female to come and hang out with the goofiness here in the morning here.
Yeah, and I'd love to. It's just working it around the schedule.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
I'd love that.
That's funny, man. Lydia, you go get your kids if you know where they are.
Thank you. Yeah, they're somewhere. I should go find them.
There
are other adults in the house.
Did you notice she said, "Oh, right, I got to go get the kids. I don't know where they are."
There are other adults. So it's okay.
They're supervised. They're supervised,
They
brother.
are
There's
highly
other.
supervised,
He couldn't understand when said adults. He's saying adults. There's other adults in the house. In Canada, they pronounce shit really weird. Where's my mom? I know you might do that too, though, Lydia. Shit, I don't know.
Right, I've got to go, but thank you so much for having me. And I will come back if you'll still have me again.
Lydia, you are the best. I appreciate your time.
You, man. Sit there.
Bye, Lydia.
Bye.
Let's get her out of here, man. Lydia's gone from the show. That was fun, man. That was good. That was a lot of fun here. Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and Marty here, getting after it on a Thursday of the Loop. Marty, you're still here. Do you have to leave, or what's going on with you, brother?
I do have to go. I do want to see Johnny's intro for the lifestyle tip, though. I do want to see that before I go.
So you know what? I got to be honest with you. I don't have the lifestyle tip intro for Johnny. It's the one that I dropped for you guys last night. It's that really cool the
one that was good. That was good.
Story? Yeah, the one in the church. I think Johnny would like that one. Hey, Marty, before you go quickly, I saw your comment on Instagram. I'm sorry, YouTube cracking down on AI stuff. I want to talk with you. So yes, YouTube is cracking down on AI generated content, but not what we're doing. They're cracking down on just these channels that are just propagating AI generated slop. Right. Gotcha. If all you're doing is just making a bunch of AI crap without showing your face and and then repurposing, like taking our channel and making an AI version of it, that's what they're shutting down. What they're really trying to encourage, and what you're going to see with our stuff, is very much a story being told here. So if you saw it, I wouldn't expect you to see today's opener, but the Yeti showed up in his in the Volkswagen at the gym, and now the show has him in the gym here. And then the last scene is pretty cool here. So it's quite interesting, actually. I think it's quite fascinating what's happening.
Just making sure, man.
I appreciate you, brother.
Looking out for my guys.
I appreciate you. All right, Marty, you got to rock and roll, brother.
Yes, sir.
What do you got going on today?
Power outage Yeah.
What happened?
We had a bad storm last night, so.
No shit.
I got to deal with some shit, man.
Yeah.
It's July. There's no shit in July. You got a storm that knocked out the power.
Yeah, it was bad, man. So.
Hey, Marty, where does the young lady live?
Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Very cool. So Johnny might have
closer to Johnny. Yeah,
only a state away.
Yeah, she want me to move to Johnny's neighborhood. So, I got to get that. I got to get to work. Johnny got to yell at me some more, man.
I think anybody that doesn't live where you live wants you to move away from there. Shit.
Oh, facts, man.
That's pretty good, man. That's really good. That's really good. All right, pal. Well, listen, Marty, you get after it today, brother. You have yourself an awesome day. I'm glad you're able to stick around for the whole hour with Lydia. That was a lot of fun, man. She was great.
Yeah, man.
And be safe, be well.
We'll see y'all Monday, man.
We'll see you on Monday, pal. Yeah, you're not around tomorrow, eh?
I won't be around tomorrow, but I'll be here Monday for sure. Yep.
All right, brother. You take care. You have yourself a good one, and we'll get you out of here.
I see.
All
you.
right,
have a good loop, my brother.
You too.
All right, we're gonna get Marty out of here, guys. We're gonna reset here with Keith and John here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, Johnny, and friends here. Johnny, I haven't changed the Mornings in the Lab Keith logo because my designer is not around right now. So there's a little nugget for you. Or I might be changing the wording around there maybe a little bit. Just maybe add some words to it. So
you teased I think I heard the thing come out. It was the Keith and John show. So I heard that like I was like, you're watching, but all of a sudden you hear something and then it rewinds like, whoa,
what
was that?
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah.
Well, because when it really comes down to it in a situation like this, I guess that title has to be fucking earned. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
It's like you can't have that title if you're playing at 97%.
This is true. It's interesting to hear you say that because I was talking to you yesterday about this. Just about this whole thing because we know Roofy has started his morning show here at 7:30 and he's 4 days into us. And hey, Kindness Rising, guys, 7:30 Eastern time right here on the channel with Matthew Roof. The guy's bringing a new dose of kindness, a way to get your day started with some great positive energy. And I said to Matt, this is fucking hard, man. That's why nobody rarely does this kind of thing. A commitment every single day for an hour or 2 hours. It's hard, but it's meaningful if you can pull through it. It's like, yeah, I get it. And that's why, and I'm not talking morning show stuff. I'm talking lifestyle. I'm talking
period. Oh yeah. I mean, brother, look at all the people who were unable to keep a commitment on a single day a week.
Yes. I know. Isn't that?
And some of those people you would look at and think, God, I think this guy's got it.
Yes.
But, until you see someone operate for a year plus, you really don't know. Because, it's human beings have, as I recall, cycles of life, right? Yeah. Everybody has their cycle of life. And when the cycle is up, it's really easy to do hard shit. Yeah. When the cycle goes down, then you get to see who someone really is.
Yep. Yeah. It's so odd, dude. I'm so lined up with you there, man. It's so, that's what time does for us, right? And I'll tell you, that's something I've learned as I've grown up in life is that the value of time and just observing patterns of behavior.
Yeah.
Right. And like you said, you see somebody for a year and you're like, okay. And, it becomes quite predictable in a positive way, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. Right? Yeah. I mean, it's time is a crazy thing.
Oh,
here's one of the sayings. Listen to this. One of the sayings that was put in my ear when I was so young by my stepdad, and I didn't understand it much at the time. I understood a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm fucking like 6, 7 years old, and he's saying this to me. And because I would ask him a question, and his answer would be this: in time, all will be revealed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, I did not want to hear that. But basically, he's just saying that you're going to get your answer, but time is going to bring it to you. And that's what we're talking about with people.
Yeah.
Can this person stick it out the way that we stick it out? Well, we'll never know. They can say what they want. Time will reveal our answer.
Yes. Speaking of revealing our answer, Johnny, you revealed something earlier on in the show. I had a little teaser. I'm good at the teaser, Johnny. Have you ever wondered, men, what happens if men take Viagra every single day? Well, today I got, so actually, Johnny, first of all, I don't think Jimmy can hear us right now. but I know he's stressing out like a motherfucker because he's like, oh my God, I can't get shit going for Uncle Keith over there. So he's frantically panicking.
It's just the two of us. We're good, babe. We don't need anybody. It's just two of us.
But we have all the stuff set up behind the scenes, right? And I know right now he's just fucking panicking, going, oh my God, I can't do it. And we're just going after it, Jimmy. So today I want to explore the surprising benefits, the hidden risks, and everything in between. And we're not experts here about what we're talking about. I'm simply delivering some of the research that I found and going to deliver some real life human experiences, as Johnny has said, because I think Johnny has perhaps experienced what happens if one takes Viagra or sildenafil every single day. Johnny, let's start it off, brother. Have you done it every single day?
Well, so early on,
yeah.
I should say early on. I would say the experimentation came probably more with Viagra, because Viagra, then, every dude wants the frickin', that piece of wood that won't go away.
Block of steel. Yeah. Yeah.
So, I was using Viagra a lot, but obviously it was just for a sexual benefit. That's it.
Okay.
Right. And then Cialis came along, and it was like, wait a minute, you can take this thing, you take one a day and it stays in you all the time. Well, then I started to realize that they had that, forgive me. So with Viagra, we knew that it was for one purpose. Well, they realized that the test subjects are running around with boners, so I guess we're going to market it for boners.
Yes.
Cialis was the same thing,
yes,
I believe, but it had a different original purpose. And so I started looking at all of the different health benefits of Cialis, and one of them for prolonged use has to do with the prostate. Well, 7 out of 10 men get prostate cancer.
Yes.
Whether it's a little or a lot. I mean, granted, a lot of times people have prostate cancer and they can beat it, not a problem. Other times it fucks them up, like really fucks them up.
Yeah.
So, we take all sorts of things for our health. Well, I mean, we're males. We have a 7 in 10 chance of getting prostate issues. Well, we'd like to have sex. This kills two birds with one stone.
Yes. Interesting. So how long of a period of time?
I mean, I've been taking Cialis for years.
So daily then, right? So you take it daily? Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. And I actually did, I've done some experience with that one too.
Yes. Okay.
So basically, as we get older, our prostates enlarge, right? Yes. Like with blood tests, my prostate operates perfectly, but it's a little bit enlarged, which is pretty average.
Yes.
And so if from some of the studies, I mean, granted, none of the studies I'm talking about were proven, but there's some reasons to believe that higher levels of Cialis actually would have more of a I guess you'd say a shrinkage effect. Shrinkage in this case is good.
Yeah.
So I would like kind of test when I was peeing, like, do I feel a difference when I pee when I'm on a higher level or not? I wasn't really able to see anything there, but I will say that if I stopped, I'd started to notice a little bit of a difference.
Interesting. So this is awesome, frankly, because we'll get some real life stuff then. So, understanding the daily effects of Viagra matters because it can influence men's health. So, so let's put some context around it. So, Johnny, I'm going to make an assumption here. Improved erectile function. Daily dose sildenafil can stabilize. It's going to aid in spontaneous and nighttime. Bottom line is, you're pretty good with your wood. True story. Yeah. Secondly, prevention of penile scarring. Regular erections improve oxidization to penile tissues, potentially reducing age-related scarring. Number 3, urinary benefits. Sildenafil relaxes smooth muscle tissue, possibly, improving urinary symptoms in cases of benign prostatic hyperplasia. So like you said, the prostate gets larger. You don't have any problems urinating. You're good with it.
No. I mean, even when I don't take it, I'm good.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I wasn't good, that's a fucking problem.
Yeah, I know. For sure.
But I could definitely tell a little bit of a difference.
Yeah.
Because my enlargement has only popped up in the last handful of years.
Interesting. And then enhanced quality of life. Obviously, feeling more confident. I get the wood when I want to have the wood, which translates to perhaps better experiences when you're being intimate with your partner. But Johnny,
it's like a domino effect there for sure.
Yeah. And then there's so let's get into some of the side effects or potential risks. So common apparently is headaches, indigestion, nasal congestion, dizziness, mild vision changes. Did you experience any of that, Johnny? Or do you experience any of that from time to time?
With Viagra, a little bit.
Okay.
What I would notice with Viagra, funny enough, when it would be like the true Viagra, like Pfizer Viagra, I would notice this more than if it was a generic.
Generic.
So it really does kind of show you that there is some difference between the two. But I would notice that basically I would get kind of I guess you'd say put bluntly, excuse me. I would get a stuffy nose. Like I would have a hard time starting to breathe.
Yeah. Well, that's apparently a side effect of that. And then seriously, Johnny, some of the serious side effects that could come from daily taking sildenafil, Viagra, Cialis is priapism, prolonged painful erections, where the wood just does not go away ever.
Well, here would be my thought. If you've got boners that are good enough and you take that shit, well, that's probably when you're going to get what you're going to get. You know, like when I was younger, you know, when I was doing it just to be, I didn't really have a purpose for it other than just to have some fun. That's what when you get older, you know, you don't have those, you know, when you're a kid, man, you just got that thing that won't go away. You got one of those, don't take this shit.
But you know what's unfortunate, Johnny? What's unfortunate is because of our age, we talk about this for granted. The reality is that there's 20-year-old men, 30-year-old men, maybe even 18, 19-year-old men that could have such benefits with this, but perhaps are struggling with their own confidence or struggling with some erection issues. But then it's this taboo. Oh, you're taking Viagra or you're taking Cialis. And I know we will say, go get a new group of friends. I just don't want to erase that easily.
Sure.
It's just unfortunate that there still is that taboo. So I'm glad we're talking about it. I'm really glad you're sharing your experience with it because look, it's aspirin. It's whatever. It's aspirin. It's Tylenol. It's Advil. It's another tool in the toolbox to help us get through life, and it should not be a taboo conversation. John Anderson.
Well, you know, I got kind of an interesting timeline to share. So as we know, I started off as the kind of the hard case, you know, dumb little fuckers, I call myself.
Every pun intended, the hard cases of fucking with hard arms, right?
Well, as I started, you know, developing my confidence, I found the gym. I started to, I was actually starting, I wasn't this pathetic little bastard anymore. At you know, say by beginning college, I was actually becoming kind of a strapping young lad, so to speak, right? I mean, I wasn't hugely muscled up, but I had started to come into my own. You know, girls were attracted to me. It was like, whoa, this is different.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I had developed that confidence, right? But in my mind, I still was that fat little boy.
Yes.
And so keep in mind, someone that has a hard time, you know, with, you know, getting good wood, sometimes it's, of course, that, you know, you've got to start to do the things to get yourself feeling better, right? But I guess what I'm getting at is it's the mental side, not the physical side. Like I became physically an attractive dude, but mentally I still wasn't there because the physical parts of me developed so much faster than the mental part. So what I'm getting at is this: if you're one of these people that has this hang up with, you know, having sex or, you know, getting naked or, you know, whatever it is, or needing to use Viagra because you have a hard time performing, just start working on yourself, because the whole thing will go away once you actually become more confident. But remember, it's not just a physical thing. It's really the point to the story.
Well, you know what, Johnny?
Mental thing.
It's interesting. And I, you know, as a marketer myself, I sometimes wonder why, or I'm sure there's reasons why, but like, man, the confidence that men have when you have an erection, whether it's with a pill or not a pill, the confidence we have, and it's unfortunate. And it's unfortunate that is not marketed enough that way for men that might be feeling a lack of confidence with their own mirror. Which is, hey, dude, go get yourself a wood, and you might feel good about yourself. And it's incredible what happens when you do.
I mean, 100%. And the flip side of that is fucking just complete, you know, bone crushing, self-esteem devouring.
Yes.
You know, like in that age where I'd physically come to a certain spot, but mentally I wasn't. I can't tell you how many times I would be starting to have sex and I couldn't get it up, and it was fucking brutal.
Absolutely.
So that's when I actually turned to Viagra at that point, right? And then it helped me. And funny enough, in the beginning, it didn't even help. My confidence was so low. Even the Viagra didn't really help. There had to be a certain level of confidence to even let the drug work.
We got some questions from Rufian here, Johnny. Does sildenafil and beetroot supplementation assist with muscle building and or oxygenation of tissue? Basically, does ED meds, including sildenafil, help with bodybuilding? Oh, interesting. Oh, Matthew, not Matthew Roof, Matthew Road. Oh, interesting. Sorry, Road. Yeah.
I would say, because you're talking about beetroot, right? You're talking about blood flow. You're talking about, these drugs are blood flow. Yes. So here would be the thing. You can say yes to these, but they would be probably 500th on the list of other things that you should be paying attention to. Because everybody, oh my God, I'm going to start drinking beetroot juice and taking Viagra. I'm going to get good boners and I'm going to get in shape. No, you're not eating properly. You're not sleeping properly. These are the first things that you need to be looking at.
Yes. Yep. Exactly. Hey, everybody. You got Keith and John here on Mornings Live with Keith, John, and friends here every single day, 8 o'clock Eastern time, YouTube, LinkedIn, and X. We've just been talking about the benefits of taking Viagra every single day. Viagra, Cialis, sildenafil, those the blood flow drugs that help us get those morning woods. But I want to pivot the conversation toward, as we wrap up here in the last 13 minutes or so with Johnny. Johnny, I found something that I know you have an interest in. I have had some interest in recently and learning about it. And while I know we're probably going to dive into how peptides work their way into this, but I found some Arnold's advice. Arnold Schwarzenegger, I subscribe to his newsletter, and he's always dropping great nuggets. And, if he's talking about it, I think perhaps there's a reason that we might want to talk about it or share it. And Johnny, one of the topics he threw on the table last week or a couple weeks ago was stop muscle loss now, lessons from diabetes research. And have you ever wondered why some people seem to lose muscle faster as we age? Well, there's been some surprising insights, Johnny, from type 2 diabetics about muscle loss, revealing powerful lessons that everyone, diabetic or not, can use to maintain strength, mobility, and independence. And this came up.
Let me interject real quick just so everybody can follow us. Type 2 means that you did this dumb shit to yourself.
Yes.
So let's be very clear about this.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Yeah, and just I don't know what you're going to say next, but if you lived a lifestyle to give yourself this type 2 dumb shit, no fucking wonder you're losing muscle.
Yeah. So, but this research says that recent research shows that people with type 2 diabetes, Johnny, lose muscle faster, making them valuable subjects for understanding sarcopenia or age-related muscle loss. Now,
brother, if you eat in a way that gives you fucking type 2, of course you're going to lose muscle.
But here's the but, though. And here's where I want to bring you into this with some of the stuff you've been working on or researching around the new world and new discussions around peptides. Does this not link back to some of the GLP inhibitors and some of the peptides in the market? Because is this not part of the same conversation, John Anderson?
Well, and here's the thing. Great question. So you can use any AI. Let's compare it to AI. You can use AI for good, or you can use it for bad. What the fuck are you using it for? So perfect example.
Yes.
Like some of these GLP-1s, I have a client that's actually on tirzepatide right now.
Okay. And for everybody, GLP-1s would be like Ozempic or Wegovy would be the brand name. So John, just to clarify.
So basically what it does is these things are slowing down your I'm trying to put it in a real simple. You're slowing down your digestion to the point where it kind of kills your hunger, right? So if you're not hungry, it's easier to get into a calorie deficit is their idea behind this.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Which means you're basically slowly starving yourself. So this guy comes to me and he'd been on tirzepatide, which is that we consider GLP-2, but we won't get into all the science behind it. Basically, he was on one of these meds, a peptide that kept him from being hungry. And he'd been on it for fucking 6 months, and he was on this clinic that was put him on. He was on this fucking whopping dose. So he was never hungry, which means he was never eating. And this dude was fucking malnourished. He was sick. He was so tired. He's like, I just want my energy back. And I was like, you understand you have no energy because you basically starved yourself for 6 months. Your body thinks you're trying to kill it. And I said, here's the thing. The peptide you're on can be used for good or bad. You're using it with the idea of starving yourself. How about this? Let's lower that dose, because he was on this before he came to me. Let's lower that dose, and let's get you eating again. Now you're still not going to be hungry, so we're going to need to really have some alarms to tell you when it's time to eat, right? So, I mean, as fuck, he was on a whopping dose. We cut it down by a third. They were just trying to, I mean, these clinics that are prescribing this shit, they're basically just trying to keep people on their, their monthly cha-ching.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Scaring him with, if you lower the dose, you're going to get fat again. God damn it. I was like, don't listen to these people. Anyway, long and short of it is,
the goal is to get them off the GLP. Because John, let's be frank here. The goal is to get, if you're coming to me if I was your client, your goal is to get me off the GLP.
Well, but here, let's go. Now let's talk about how it's used for good. So we just talked about for bad.
Yes.
So we cut the dose by a third, which still kept him in a position where he didn't feel much going on from his stomach. We put him on an eating schedule. 3 fucking days. He was like, I can't believe how good I feel. I'm sleeping better. I'm more optimistic, because he was having all of these terrible thoughts like he was going to die. He was like, if I go upstairs, I feel my heart rate go. I think I'm going to die. Really? His body was giving him every reason to do absolutely nothing because he wasn't eating. Yeah. Anyway, or his brain. So just 3 days in, he's feeling fucking great. So for those people who have like major food noise, that makes sense. Like that voice that just won't fucking tell them to stop eating because they're hungry all the time, and then that voice gets going. These things can be used in a helpful way, right? But you got to use them in the way that all you're doing is you're using it to keep that voice in your head, or keep that what you believe is constant hunger away. So you turn off that signal. Now the idea is not to starve yourself. The idea is to eat on a schedule that's going to nourish your body and help you live a better life. But you're removing this thing of hunger, which usually for most people is what causes all the problems. No matter what they eat, like I have conversations all the time, and when I start doing the mental reframing, I say, look, because people eat a meal that I give them and they're like, I'm still hungry. And I say, look, Keith, I'm twice as heavy as you. And I could eat that meal I gave you and I wouldn't be hungry. I wouldn't be full, but I wouldn't be hungry. That's where people get fucked up.
I want to jump in here with you because something AJ said to me a while back, and it just really stinks. AJ's always dropping shit into my head that sticks to me, Johnny. He's like, and he said to me one day as I was going through my journey with AJ, he's like, Keith, you're not really hungry. What? He goes, no, you're not.
Exactly.
He goes, think about the people that are starving in the world. That is hunger. He goes, your brain right now is pretending to tell you that you're hungry because you're so used to fucking eating shit. Here's
the thing. Most people eat until they're full, meaning they have a stretched fucking stomach. As soon as that stretch goes away, now they're hungry. No, you're not hungry. You're just not fucking stretched. So they have the terminology and the definitions all fucked up. That's the first thing I have to do is reframe the mind. Look, you're not hungry. You're just not full. You need to start telling yourself that, because your brain keeps saying you're hungry when there's no hunger pains. You're just not, you're not fucking bloated.
No, hold on. The word of the 20, 24, 25 is you're not inflamed. Oh, I haven't. Yeah. No, you're fat.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah. And so long and short of it is to go. So long and short of going back to these GLP-1s, I don't think that there's something that should be really used, or something that should be used as a tool. And if they're used as a tool, they have to be used properly.
Yes. So then let's wrap this up then. So, this article talks about that there is certainly benefits to this research. I think what the reality is that consult your doctor, your physician. Go knock on John Anderson's door if you want to learn about real life experiences with some of the stuff he's talking about. But I think, to me, the clear core message really comes back to this, Johnny, is to keep it simple, taking a page from you. Let's just remove all the processed crap. Let's do a reset. Perhaps go talk to your doctor, go talk to an expert. Put some good whole nutrition foods in your diet, and put a plan in place, because you're probably not hungry.
100%. And going back to the original thing about type 2 diabetes and muscle wasting, muscle loss.
Yes.
There's pretty much a guarantee that if you've eaten and you live a lifestyle that's given you type 2, it's all that lifestyle is also going to be muscle wasting. The two fit hand in hand.
And it's interesting because, if I wrap up Arnold's segment here too, and he's like, the action steps are this, right? Include a source of protein at every meal. Eat more protein. Incorporate resistance training and get your sleep. Because like what you said, if you got type 2, you've shown them at the table with a bunch of bad decisions that have gotten you here. Those accumulative decisions have added up to now you got type 2 diabetes. So if you can reset that by moving in the direction of better sources of protein, not the fucking Big Mac for protein. If you can get some resistance training by going to lift some weights instead of doing fucking grip curls or something, like
Dude,
do something.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It's you know how many type 2ers I've completely reversed the situation.
Oh, I bet.
I do it all the time. And it's very fucking easy in concept. It's very simple.
Oh,
as long as I can get them out of the gate and let them see progress, they want more.
Johnny,
and it's not just like you said, it's the dinner table, it's the lack of movement, it's the lack of sleep. It's the type 2 is that person has, and it doesn't happen overnight. That lifestyle has been poor for quite some time. Everything's
easier in concept. I want to start a podcast. Yeah, 98% of them are fucking done. Yeah, I want to start a morning show. Oh, yeah, you want to be my co-host? 98% of them haven't showed up every single day. Boom, boom. Oh, yeah? So everything's easier in concept, right? But I just don't want I want to say this with type 2. I think one of the delicate conversations, though, to be frank, is if somebody has arrived at the table with you saying, man, I'm waking up with a life of accumulative decisions that have put me in this spot. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm going to make an assumption here. You're walking towards them with great empathy first. Because
the first thing I'm going to say is, you know what? We know about this. We know these are the series of decisions that we don't want to make anymore. So it was a great learning experience.
Because we know that they know. Right, Johnny? And
you don't shame them. No. I build them up. Fuck yeah, 100%.
You're not going to beat them up. Oh, you made a bunch of fucking. And actually, I do want to clarify because I know that even I was talking with Drew on the comments here yesterday. It's part of what we do here. It's part of Keith's shtick and Johnny's shtick, right? Don't go eat the fucking Big Mac. Go eat the lean beef, and because here's the reality, guys. Here's the reality. That's why there's all these fads and snake oil in the world of fitness, because. If we just told you what the truth was every single day, you guys wouldn't tune in. Go to sleep early, eat good food, and do it again. Oh, so of course we got to have some fun with the shit we talk about, which is why every single day there's a new fitness fad, Johnny, because at the end of the day, it's business, right, brother?
Yeah, 100%. And here's the thing. When it comes down to it, I want everybody listening to understand that yes, there is some real basic building blocks, this whole thing. Yes. However, most of you guys that have tried and failed have taken a very, very difficult path to put this together. When you have someone who understands how to help you put it together in a simple format, but more importantly, that makes sense to you.
Yes.
It's much, much easier because Joe Schmo says, oh shit, my neighbor did this. I'm going to try. Well, maybe that in his mind, that makes a lot of fucking sense, but in your mind, it doesn't. So you fail. Oh, well, that method doesn't work for me. No, that method wasn't tailored for me.
And didn't have the support to have it tailored for you to follow through with it. So
if you've tried and failed, there is hope. If you've tried and failed, first off, if you failed, it's okay. You just got to try again. But more importantly, once you have somebody show you how to put it together properly for you, it's not going to seem like this mountain you can't climb anymore.
If you're not failing, you're not trying. I know it's cliche. It's so fucking obvious, but that's what life is. Life is just failing every single day, isn't it? Or else you're just sitting back and coasting through life. So, all right, guys, Keith and Johnny, Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends every single day, 8 o'clock Eastern time, YouTube, LinkedIn, and X, getting after it. I suspect we're walking Johnny out. Jimmy's AWOL. Jimmy's gone. Uncle Keith's going to continue the show here. We're going to get into conversation on building personal brands. Johnny, what going on today, brother? I'm going to go crest my shoulders after our show here today.
Today's actually an off day of training. Nice. I recognize that I need this week as I get back in the saddle. I'm realizing that my body needs more rest. So I'm very, very clear on what I need to do. Give it. I think today being off, tomorrow I'm going to be charging hard.
Nice. Nicely done. Nicely done. Hey, man, I just want to call it. I had a wonderful date with my wife last night. Dude,
nice.
fucking awesome. We went for dinner to a restaurant we like to eat at and really enjoyed our time. It was just a nice, relaxing, just a really wonderful experience. Just, we spent we spent a few hours together, and it was such a, I just wanted to call it, because I think Lauren's listening in right now. So I just want to say, I love you, baby. I thoroughly enjoyed our time last night. Just a wonderful, nice connection experience. She's got a busy night tonight over the next few days. So, which is great. It was, what's great about it, Johnny? I loved about it is that, Lauren's got an active day today, this evening, and over the weekend. We found time last night to connect, enjoy some time together. And now we can go on and do our things and go on and get on with life. And, but I want to just intentionally call it out because I'm feeling really great about it today. So.
Well, it sounds like you guys were really present in your time together, which is what makes it so special.
No, that's the best way to frame it. I think that's how I feel today. I woke up today feeling really present. I'm gonna be honest, I was tired today because it was later night than normal yesterday. It was way past my bedtime, brother. But I figured after you guys dragged your ass through yesterday's show, I figured I could show up today and bring the energy because you guys fucking dragged. Because here's the thing, I'll be honest, brother. When you drag your ass, because sometimes you do, because it's just how life is. It has an effect on our experience because I got nobody to play with. Johnny, will you play with?
Well, one of the things that I'm actually learning from this long weekend, is anytime I go through, okay, what can I learn from this?
Yes,
I'm learning that I still am not good enough at giving myself the proper rest so I can operate at the highest level all the time. Because I'm constantly, I love to kick ass and it feels good, but I get myself beat down and then I got to get myself, I really am focused on trying to find a way to exist right here. And unfortunately, as much as I don't want to admit it, I think that means I'm going to have to go back to training every other day.
Oh, yeah. Well, let me invite you to think about this, though. About this. So let's talk football or baseball or hockey or whatever sport.
Mm-hmm.
Even the sports you have went through in your life. I'm going to suspect that if that pro athlete, Kobe Bryant, there's no fucking way Kobe Bryant was 100% every day.
No,
every day he plays. That's just not how humans work, right? There's some days where it's going to be an 80 or a 90. So when you're like, I'm aspiring to get to this all the time, maybe that's not realistic. Maybe it's about
I'm glad you said that because I should have been more specific.
Yeah.
I'm not talking physically, yes, but really what I'm mentioning is I'm talking about my clarity. My mental clarity gets compromised when I'm physically beat down. And I love to beat myself down physically. It's something I really enjoy, but when it compromises my clarity, which then has a direct reflection on my overall happiness, we do what we do to be happy.
Yes.
And so I'm recognizing that my formula is I think I can, and for me to wake up and think that I could be more clear every day, that's fucking exciting because I seek clarity. That's my I seek that the most.
I love it. I seek clarity from John Anderson every single day. We got a comment from Lauren here. Yes, we were very present with our ice cream sundaes. Lauren, I missed that. I left that part out with Johnny. What are you doing, man? I wasn't supposed to reveal that part. That was the place where we went.
Did you eat some ice cream, brother? Yeah,
for sure. I had some. So I love it. I love it, but I don't eat it as much as I would like to because I would be type 2 diabetes dude here. So I'm just, you know what I mean? Because there's a few things I love in life, and I love ice cream. I love cookie dough. I love my peanut butter, and there's just certain things. We've had this conversation enough times. So there's a cool little joint down the street here.
And here's the brother. I'm not damning you. What goes in my head is this: he ate ice cream, and he's actually okay today. That's a good thing. See, for me, if I had ice cream, I would be still fucking battling that shit today.
Well, but here, this is great. But here's the thing. You had a couple beer on the weekend, and I was like, because if the roles were reversed, I would be battling it. So it's funny to hear our conversation because you had a couple beers on the weekend, and I was like, I couldn't, and I have no desire, and I never will. Right? And
I love this. This is good. Let's go deeper into this because the beer thing is predetermined. It's one time per year, period. So if, like, perfect example, like if you were able to have ice cream kind of on the fly.
Yeah.
Not so much predetermined. This happens once a year. That's what gives me my safeguard.
Yes. For me, it's the discipline of like we don't do it all the time, right? And to me, it's a date. Hang it over my wife. we had a nice.
Brother, I'm giving you props. I'm not taking anything away. When I said, did you have some ice cream? I'm actually impressed because we're both fat kids down deep.
I know, totally. I know. Believe me, but I'll tell you, I went for a big walk this morning. Because you know how it is, right? Because you're like, okay, right, and I'll get my lift in. But yeah, it was because, and again, I think you just learn this, right? And maybe I've learned it through you. You know, the bigger moment that occurred was more important than the micro moment of the ice cream making me feel like I was going to be fat. You know what I mean?
100%. 100%. And just to take a stroll down my mind in that same process is as soon as I start that ice cream.
Yes.
A button get pushed in my head and I'm not present anymore.
Oh, interesting.
I'm not here. I'm thinking about how I get more. I'm thinking about how I justify doing this tomorrow. Oh, my addiction fucking steps to the wrong side of the fucking fence and it takes days to shut that thing back off. So when I don't do that, it's so that I can continue to be the person I want to be.
Which is why you make the decision in advance saying, okay, this Friday when the girls are all showing up, I'm going to have some beers because you're telling yourself that because then, okay, Friday, Saturday, I know I'm going to feel a little crappy on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So you've already walked, you've actually visualized the experience in your head like an athlete would before you walked into it.
Yeah, 100%, you know, and keep in mind, beer is a little different than sugar. Sugar is more addicting than beer to me. But you know what I say? Nothing ever good happens when you drink. I swear to God, dude, this is fucking crazy.
Yes.
So I had a buddy fucking reach out to me. He gave me a fucking tip on an investment. Of course, I'm fucking loaded. So the last thing I'm going to do is start moving money around when I'm loaded. That thing, I don't even want to tell you how much money that cost me. Fuck. I was like, holy Christ. I was like, and I texted back. He was like, dude, why didn't you do that? And I'm like, you know, I was just, when I'm drinking, it's just kind of a rule I have. I don't do stuff like that because I can make bad decisions as well. Fuck, man, take a look. You sure made a bad decision by not doing this. I'm like, oh, mercy.
I will wrap the ice cream conversation up with you where, we just, this brand new ice cream shop here and their ice cream's unbelievable, Johnny. And I said to Lauren, I said, hey, maybe before the summer's over, we got to sample everything up the front. But that's my brain talking going, no, because like you, man, I start with one. Like I'm that guy like you too, man. Like I why have one hamburger? What can I have three? Like who has one fucking cookie? Like what the hell is that? Don't even give me one cookie. Like don't, because give me one, give me a row. But
I got to give you props, brother. The fact that we both have that tweaky deaky thing and you were able to enjoy some ice cream and stay present with your wife. That's a huge, I would have a challenge doing that.
Interesting.
So the fact that you did it that's why when I said, did you have some ice cream?
Yeah.
In my mind, I'm thinking, oh, gee, that must have fucked up the rest of his night because that's what happened to me.
Yeah. Interesting.
Good job, brother.
Thanks, brother. Yeah. No, it was a wonderful evening. It was just a real nice night, and like I said, ended off with just some nice quality time together. I suspect we're both going to be living longer, so it's all good, man. It's all good. Yeah, it's all good.
Very nice. Well, I had some of that last night, but no ice cream or dinner. Well, I had dinner, but not out.
Love you, brother. All right. Jimmy's AWOL. Keith and Johnny are here. I'm going to walk Johnny out. I'm going to work towards wrapping this baby up here today. What a fun show. Lydia's awesome, man. I'm a fan of Lydia. And I got to tell you, brother, I'm just going to talk about it publicly on the air. I'm trying to get Lydia to come do some stuff with us work-wise, whether her company, whether it's seriously a relationship show on the network we're building here, whether it's her doing some co-hosting stuff, but there's value in the stuff she's doing. And we're building a live conversational network here. There's opportunity here. We're building an audience. And she just drops nugget after nugget after nugget. I know you and I are both unhappy to committed relationships, but dude, there's a lot of guys here in their 30s and 40s or who are maybe going through situations where they're going, I'm not happy in this one. I want to consider something else. So Lydia was great. Wasn't she great? She was fucking awesome, man.
Well, there's a lot of information that, it's not information that's really put into the forefront.
Yes.
Yes. As we discussed, the decision that you make for your partner can be the biggest decision, good or bad, in your life.
It's incredible. We are not taught that anywhere in our journey of life from 0 to 18 or 19. Like never in your journey growing up are you taught how to pick a partner ever.
Well, I mean, dude, if you think about it, we're taught a whole bunch of shit that just distracts us, you know, and we're not taught the shit that would actually help us live better lives. But if we're living at a higher level of consciousness because we were taught the shit we were supposed to learn, we'd be very difficult to control.
And I know why you and I resonate so well together, because you and I both grew up in the 80s, and we both know what we were taught in the 80s with all the shit on TV, Baywatch and MTV and everything on all the culture that was put in front of us and how it had some fun with our brains. So
wouldn't even just think about school.
Oh,
we're given a whole, I mean, fuck, what we're not taught is what we need. And we're taught a bunch of shit that we never use.
True story right there. True.
Thank God I was slow enough to not learn most of that stuff.
That's the best thing you learned by going to school, is that you were dumb enough not to learn a bunch of stuff they tried to teach you.
Dude, I swear to God, what my fucking biggest blessing is that I had a hard time. For me to try to keep up, I had to figure out a way to learn my way, and that was like life changing.
Yeah. Bernard, breakdancing is making a comeback, man. I'm gonna get into that. We're gonna do some breakdancing. Absolutely. That's fuck. I love when breakdancing came out, man. I'm looking for a ghetto blaster. I found one on Facebook Marketplace for like $70, just some old school ghetto blaster. Nobody has ghetto blaster. You know what? Actually,
the big boy, the one that you can barely reach the top of when it's on your shoulder.
There was people that were bitching about the fact that they were called ghetto blasters because it was like some cautionary cultural term, that it was like appropriate. Exactly. Shaking your head. Me too. I'm like, fuck.
Those people are going to complain about anything.
I know. Yep. Ghetto blaster, ghetto blaster, ghetto blaster. Oh my God. All right, pal. Well, listen, you get after it. I'm going to get you out of here. I'm going to wrap up with the gang here in the next few minutes here and look forward to so tomorrow, Free For All Friday. I got some I think what we're going to throw on the table tomorrow, brother, is I found 25. You know how we talk about side hustles and doing things maybe to get forward in life? I found 25 online or 25 business ideas we can maybe talk about, which maybe give some people some ideas to dig into and get after. I know you're on a brand new project. So tomorrow I think we're going to lean into some business stuff here. Before you go, we got Matthew Road coming in with the amygdala in your brain is a powerful, and without discipline, it can mislead you. Yes. The reticular activator system in your brain, Storm, also plays a huge role in pleasure and addictions. Yes, we're doing it. That's exactly, Matthew. We talk about it all the time here, the battle.
How is it programmed is the question. It'll be programmed to fuck you up. It'll be programmed to help you out.
That's it. And Bernard, I can see Keith doing the moonwalk. Bernard, I can do the moonwalk actually. So perhaps I'll create some content and I'll bring it onto the show here. Me and the White Yeti will do the moonwalk here on the show here. So we'll get Johnny moonwalking out of the show one day.
You know, I tried to do that and I was never successful. Yeah.
The big dude just fucking writhing on his feet. Yeah, is that how it works?
I was trying when I was younger.
Yeah.
You know, when it was in, but I was like so bad at what I was doing. I was like, okay, no one can ever see this but me.
No. There you go. We're gonna find that video.
there was no videos in those days.
There was no. Speaking of, it's funny when you say that. You know when somebody's like, "Yeah, does Sasquatch exist?" or these things that you wonder. Listen, there are so many cameras now on the planet capturing every moment.
Captured all sorts of weird shit that we thought was never exist before.
Right? Fascinating to me. All right, well, listen, Johnny, I'm going to get you out of here, pal. You have yourself a good one, and I'm going to reset, and we're going to rock and roll. We'll get back after tomorrow, okay?
You know, speaking of Yetis, but yes, we'll have rock tomorrow. I was thinking the Yeti, that kind of a funny little thing at some point where that Yeti is like somehow takes his fucking mask off, and it's me under there.
Believe me, I thought about it, actually. So fuck, are you in my brain? This is really fascinating actually, because I'm trying to create these characters that are kind of maybe resemble what we're kind of going on here in the show, right? So I was working on a scene yesterday, which was having the Yeti unmasked, but I couldn't get a resemblance that was you or I or something, but it was funny.
Well, and if we tease these characters, because they're always so like the Yeti is always favorable to me. Yes. Like, why is this? That'll be kind of fun. Why is the Yeti always pumping up John? This is bullshit. Yeah. Then this other character comes and it's you. Yeah. Although, what would your character be? That would be an interesting, maybe Maybe a possum
or a warthog. A possum? What the hell? A fucking possum. You know what, though? Actually, here's a true story for you. As I was building our characters, I learned really quickly. So I tried out, I don't know if I told you this. No, I did tell you this. I tried your bulldog, my bulldog. I tried a bunch of dogs, but the lips weren't matching very well. So I ended up with the Yeti, the silverback, the chimpanzees. But so far, we got Eddie, the white Yeti, hanging out with us. And we've been having some, Lauren's coming in with Pumbaa. When we were in Africa, dude, few years ago, if you haven't seen a warthog in real life, I hope one day you get a chance to see one because they're fucking funny, man. Like they are actually like the Lion King Pumbas, dude. And your American Bulldog, my English, like some of their resemblance to the Pumbas are funny as shit, right? So yeah, that's some pretty good stuff. That's some really good stuff. Okay, well listen, pal, I'm gonna get you out, and we'll talk to you in less than 24. We've been saying the longest ending goodbye here for the last.
I know. That's right. That's our bromance coming to the surface.
Exactly. It's all right. Get the hell out of here. I'll see you tomorrow, pal.
Have a good loop, brother.
Yeah, we'll see you later. All right, Johnny's out of here. Uncle Keith is left, and I'm going to pull him off stage. There we go. All right, guys, let's just do this. I feel like I need to do this to reset it in my own head. Yeah. There you go. Hey, you're back here with Mornings in Live with Keith and John. Except John's not here. No, John left. Yeah, true story. I'm left with B-Drive. I'm left with Lauren. I'm left with not Jimmy either. I have no idea where Jimmy went either. I think when Jimmy rewatches the show, he's like, oh, they actually did it without me. Oh, we did. Although I will say, Jimmy, the production quality has suffered since you've left. So all the work we put into creating this great story for you guys, yeah. You'll see more of it tomorrow. And next week, we're getting after it, having some fun here on the show. Okay, so we're not going to do the community corner segment today or the creator spotlight. Why? I'll take my glasses off for this one. Because I'm not ready for it myself. Yep, true story. Yep, nope, just not ready for it myself. Why? Because I just don't have everything organized. I wasn't prepared to do it myself. So, but that's how we fly the airplane. That's how we build the airplane as we're flying. So today we're going to put the community corner creator spotlight on hold, bring it back tomorrow. What a great show here today, guys. If you missed the first hour, I cannot encourage you enough to go back to the beginning and listen into the conversation we had with Lydia Hoey, director of McLean International on the dating relationship side. So much fun. Marty shared his relationship journeys he has been on. We talked about, attraction, physical attraction. We talked about the swiping culture. We talked about the commodification of human beings. Just a wonderful, fulfilling conversation. Yes, Lady Drew, I want to get a kilt, actually, playing the bagpipes. I love the bagpipes, man. I'm a huge fan of the bagpipes. And as you guys can tell by my music choices, I'm a fan of strings too. Hey, there you go. Yeah. And the drill trap. There you go. So it was a great conversation with Lydia. And Johnny and Keith talked about the second hour. We got into type 2 diabetes and some of the GLP inhibitors we're using. And on Arnold's advice was choices we can make and what we've learned through research around type 2 diabetes, just increasing our protein, getting rid of some of that processed food out of our diet, and go talk to your doctor, go talk to a health expert on some of the benefits of upping that protein so we can eliminate some of the challenges that we've had through accumulative decisions in life. All right, so I was going to get to the conversation on ways to build a personal brand that positions you as an expert. I think we're going to put that one on hold, although there certainly is some value in getting after it here today. We do it every day here on the show. But I think what we're going to do here is we're going to put that one on pause. We'll come back with it later on tomorrow or later this week on the show. So for right now, we're going to wrap it up. Is what we're going to do, nation. Yes, we are. We're going to wrap it up, get on with the day here. I see you guys there tuning into the community. I'm going to quickly have a look at the comments here. Lady Drew coming in with the kilt. Let's see what we got here. Bernard coming in with, my Canadian accent came out. I think nerds needs. Yes, I got the gang here dropping off the words here in the comments. Okay, well, listen, I'm going to get out and we'll see you guys tomorrow. You know where to find us, right here on YouTube, over there on LinkedIn, over there on X, over there on Substack. The big show starts at 8 o'clock Eastern time. The bigger show starts at 7:30 Eastern time, called Kindness Rising with Matthew Roof. He's delivering positive energy to kick off your morning before you get into the circus we like to call Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. Tomorrow's Free For All Friday. I'm going to invite my community. So listen, yeah, Bernard, you're right, actually. I do have to pee. So to the community, you guys want to join the show tomorrow? I want to invite you to do so, but you got to be in my community. So Holroyd, Bernard, Lady Drew, you guys are all part of the community. I know you guys are. I'd love to have you guys join the show tomorrow. So if you want to call in, 431-300-3005, 431-300-3005. That is the way to get into the show. And if you want to join the show right now, I invite you, 431-300-3005. I will answer. So before we wrap up, if you guys want to join the conversation and see what's shaking, I would invite you to. I'm looking at the phone right now, right here. Yeah, I'm looking at it. 431-300-3005, the Mornings in the Lab hotline. If we are not live, the phone rings to me. I'll answer it. If we're not live, send a text. I'll answer it. If we're not live, send a voicemail. We'll drop it. But tomorrow, guys, 8 o'clock, if you guys want to join the conversation, you are invited. Come on screen. Make us a phone call. Send us a phone call. Matthew Roof will be here tomorrow as well. I think he'll be here tomorrow. I know he's doing his Kindness Rising show, but I'm suspecting he's going to join us for the conversation tomorrow on Free For All Friday. And for those of you that want to join in the community, you are invited. How do you join the community? Simply subscribe to Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. And if you want to up the ante, you can pay to join the community. We've got a $3 option, a $15 option, and a $20 option. And it's not to line my pocketbooks, and it's not to line John's pocketbooks. No, it's to build the platform. It's to Roofy's there. Yes, he will be here. I knew he'd be here. I can always count on Roofy. Love that guy. So guys, Roofy will be here tomorrow for sure as well after his Kindness Rising show. Again, tune it in. Matt's wrapping up his first week, man. I'm so proud of the effort he's putting in. The guy's showing up and getting it after it every single day, which is what it is all about. All right, so I'm going to get out. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We're going to get out of here. And like I said, if you guys want to join the conversation, you are invited. I'm out of here. We'll see you guys later. Ciao. See you, Jimmy.